This is the Everyday Hustle Show, where our number one priority is self-development.
Each week, we will dive into insightful topics that encourage you to push your thinking beyond average.
Smash that subscribe button and tune in every Sunday at 6 p.m.
Live on another edition of the Everyday Hustle Show, otherwise known as the Human Show.
This is episode 69.
69.
Plus one.
No shit, bud. Episode 70.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 70. Coming to you pre-recorded. Pre-recorded live.
From Lake Worth, Florida.
Lake Worth. Come on,
It's about 81 degrees here with slight 98% humidity. And if
We
you,
don't know what we're doing here.
if you look up to the sky
Don't know what we're doing
in a
live.
northwestern
What's
direction.
in life, I don't know. Yeah.
what the? If you look
What
up into
in
the
the-
sky in a northwestern direction, you might see Orion's belt.
What in the good Lord's name is happening out here? Yo, we are outside yet again. Another good setting. Hopefully not too much background dog chatter tonight.
I didn't hear a dog yet.
Nope. Knock on wood. There's no wood. Shit.
There's a wicker table.
I
Knock
don't even know what the hell that means. Yeah, so we're out back. We're smoking a cigar. Jesse's smoking his vape.
I got a friggin' vape, dude.
Just chilling, enjoying life.
This is actually, this is pretty chill out here. I'm not gonna lie. It feels, part of me wants to say it feels sexual. And the other part wants to say that I'm a straight man. And in no way whatsoever is this a sexual situation. But
I think that a good thing to remember in life is that sometimes things just get stale, you know, and
Ooh.
you have to switch things up. And this just came to me, you know, we record the podcast every week in the same location at the same time. And, you know, sometimes I just drive a different way to work, you know? Like sometimes you just like every single day you go, you get in your car, you go drive this way. I challenge you to take something in your daily routine. You can go ahead and crack that bubbly, yeah. I challenge you to take the path less traveled. Go the opposite direction that you normally go. Not the opposite direction. Go the alternate route. You know, if there's a task that you do every day in your life, try something. Hopefully, the end result will be the same, but the path to get there will be different. What do you think about that, Chris?
I like that, man. I've been brushing my teeth
what?
with my left hand
Counterclockwise too?
for the past 7 months, probably.
You know,
Every
this shit with you really fascinates me. It's always
Yo.
something that, like,
I
to
swear
me
to-
makes absolutely no sense. But I respect you for just branching out. You're like, you know what? I think I want to try to not eat for 65 days. I want to see what that's like.
Yo,
You know? Let me try brushing my teeth with my freaking toes. You know, see what that's like, bud.
I'm used to it now. I don't even feel weird no more.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. And then vegan diet starts May 1st.
And what's next for you after that? You
Well, I'm gonna fast 2 weeks into it. I'm gonna fast for 24 hours, so I'll be able to get that done in that month.
Holy shit!
You should hit a little mini juice cleanse into your vegan diet. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know about I'm willing to try it.
Why would you not? You
I
piece of
would
shit?
sponsor it. I would sponsor the juice cleanse. And I would you know, I would just, you know, donate the juices to the cause. I want to put that
shit.
offer out there for you. I would donate a 2-day cleanse, and I would just want some documentation of the process along the way. You know, you tag your boys at Juice Revolution, and Bob's your uncle.
I appreciate that. I will accept that offer, and I will leave a huge tip that essentially will probably equate to what the juice cleanse will cost.
I will accept, sir, and raise you 20. While we're on that topic, bud, haven't you, said owner of Juice Revolution, experienced your own juice cleanse of such?
Yeah, I completed my first cleanse this week. It was a very eye-opening experience. I prepared heavily, so it was easy. I did eat a salad both nights, of my cleanse.
The night's tough, right? For me, that was the tough part.
Yeah, the night's tough. I mean, essentially, normally if you buy a beginner juice cleanse at any reputable place, they give you like a small, like either protein drink or salad for whenever you choose to eat it. So I did. Yeah, it was like some ice or what's the lettuce that comes in like
Iceberg,
stalks?
dog.
No, it comes in stalks.
romaine.
Yeah, romaine lettuce, spinach, cucumbers, peppers, just with some vinegar on it. So there was no.
Ooh.
Yeah, there was no
good.
processed foods or anything like that. So that was the only thing I ate. And I did eat it both nights, but I did probably 6 because I had unlimited juice, so I probably had like 6 or 8 juices and a couple shots throughout the day, and I did do a protein drink during those days too. But what I learned is that the top 2 things were like portion control, right? So like when we eat here in America, like we're so zealous with the amounts that we eat, and we don't stop eating when we're full. We just eat as much as we can.
Totally my problem.
There's no reason to get an extra large meal at Chick-fil-A, but we do it just because we love the French fries, and then when you're done, you're like, oh. And then the other thing was that like we just eat when we're bored. You walk by the pantry, you grab a handful of frickin' potato chips. Can't do it. It's not necessary. So but then I also learned to be conscious about your food choices no matter where you're at, and to also, eat slow and enjoy the food and like taste everything. Cause like, I'm like always on the go. I'm like rush. And sometimes I'll just like eat a meal, and I'm just like, I just inhale it, So it taught me kind of slow down and kind of appreciate the food, and I felt good energy throughout it. And I just think it's a huge accomplishment for anyone to do it. And they'll highly benefit from it if they do it. But it's one of those things where I just couldn't believe that I didn't eat food. Like I had a little salad, but just think about that. Like I had a salad once a day for 2 days, and then juice in between, but like no other food. Like to me, that's like holy shit ski, boys.
It was tough. Did you lose weight?
I don't even check. I don't
Dude.
care. I don't care. Yeah.
I've been making it a point to get on the scale every single day. Because it's actually crazy when you watch it that closely how much you like notice, like if you have a day where you just eat whatever the fuck you want, you're like, holy shit, I gained like 3 pounds today, but if you're conscious of that every day, at least if that happens, you're like, oh shit, like you feel like shit, you're like, god damn, such a fat ass, I gained
what are you
3
weighing in at?
Pounds. I've went down from the last, like a month ago, I was like 200. Which is crazy because I'm 5'8".
Wow, yeah, I'm 180 at 6'2".
I know, it's crazy. So now
you don't look fat though.
No, it's all in my gut, dude. I'm down to 190.
You feel fat? Do you feel fat?
I feel disgusting.
Yeah, that's what matters,
Yeah, I feel disgusting.
I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it doesn't really matter.
No,
how you
I'm
appear.
down. I'm down to 190 now.
Yeah,
right around there. So I'm making some progress, but I want to continue to shed them, dude. I gotta look more sexual, for Helena.
I feel you on that one, brother. Well, today is a huge day.
It is?
Last week, Drew, had a little birthday, celebration. Tonight's Jesse's turn.
Yeah, it's my brother-in-law's birthday. Happy birthday,
dude.
Skeet.
No,
hell yeah.
Skeet.
It actually is his birthday, too.
Damn, Skeet. Happy damn birthday, brother.
Happy birthday, Skeeter.
That's his name?
His name's Scott, but everyone calls him Skeeter.
I like it.
Yeah.
I prefer that.
Skeet.
No, tonight's your birthday, dude.
It is one of my birthdays today, April 25th. Let's go ahead and say 2017. I went to detox.
Ooh,
I went to freaking detox, dude.
Damn.
It's been that was the probably 8th time I actually tried to get clean and change my life.
How do you feel?
I feel excellent. The last 2 years have been really good to me. I got a lot of really good people in my life, my friends, Helena, the progression of that relationship, the relationships I rebuilt with my family,
Ooh.
My progression with work and, finding a hobby in jet skiing. All these things that are going on in my life, I love more than I ever loved drugs and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
and things are fucking really exciting right now. There's so many opportunities.
What was your favorite drug?
I was like I've always been a pain pill kind of guy.
Okay.
But there's no need. There's no need for that these days in my life. And it's honestly like, with the whole recovery thing, I definitely am not like the typical recovery guy. I've been making some meetings here and there in the last couple months, but it's all about for me the choices I make and seeing where I want to go in life, and absolutely being 100% certain that I cannot accomplish any of that if I don't stay on this path.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy to think about, like, I mean, at least for myself, when I was using it, was, every single day, it's like, just for me, utter frustration, because I was, I would literally just wake up, go to work, and get home and not want to leave.
Yeah.
Especially towards the end. And it was, I had all these ideas and all these fucking, like, I want to do this, I want to do that, yada, yada, yada. And I couldn't leave my place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like so crazy how you literally just remove the, that part, and it's still, that the whole addictive nature still there in terms of like obsessing over other things, but you can turn that into something positive as far as work, as far as hobbies, as far as relationships.
I guess maybe that's like a common theme, but I know for like the last 5+ years that I was like using, I had the same thing. I had all these big grand ideas and things I wanted to do in life, and I could never get anywhere close to, and not even that I probably, if I would have actually like put effort into it, I probably could have accomplished some of those things, but it was always just a thought, but you could never even take the first step because it was always,
right.
Everything revolved around, drugs and alcohol, and that's like what addictive people do, addicts do, and it's just crazy because I think that's a big reason now why it's been easy, because I'm just like sick and tired of fucking wanting all these things in life and not even being able to like attempt to try to get them, but when you take away that, we're still addicts. So you start getting good things and good things starts happening, and it's almost like I'm addicted to wanting to succeed, I mean, obviously I freaking hit the vape like it's like it's going out of fucking style.
It is.
There's still things that I can, like habits that I have a really hard time breaking, but dude, it's crazy. It's been really good, and I got a lot of big plans and a lot of big stuff that should be happening the next couple of years still. And I'm just fucking stoked, dude.
That's it.
I really am. I've never felt this happy with my life and where I'm at and where it's headed.
Yeah, man, and it's definitely a huge testament to like what happens when you follow some simple suggestions, especially in the beginning, and like really see, and it's just like anything else in life. Like you want to be a photographer, it's probably best to model what a photographer does, and the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you two know that for sure. I don't follow all of the suggestions, which I don't think
anyone does.
Which I should.
No, I don't think anyone does.
The main things are, the friends I have, the people I surround myself with, setting goals and accomplishing or trying to, to accomplish goals, and not putting yourself in situations that are going to get you in trouble, and it's all about the people, dude, the people you have around you.
Yeah, it's big. It's big because it changed, it definitely can change the dynamic from like having like negative friends and negative conversations and like all this bullshit that doesn't mean anything, as opposed to like even just what we do with the podcast, just meeting up once a week, talking about, where we're at, what we want to do, fucking juice cleanses, fucking, businesses, fucking relationships. And man, it's healthy to have, good friends.
You think if you were in a relationship with a woman and you constantly came home every day and you fought with her and told her she looked like a piece of shit, that your fucking life is going to be happy and good?
Not at all.
Like I probably more than I not more than I should, because obviously I feel like it's deserved, but I do not go probably 6 hours a day without telling Helena how perfect she is, how much I freaking love the girl.
Aww.
Just because, dude, I want this to be a long-lasting, happy, easy relationship, you know? And I just want to keep freaking telling her how much she freaking means to me. And then she never says it back, dude. She just looks at me and rolls her eyes. And she's like, "You're a real piece of shit, Jess." Just kidding, dude. Helena's great.
Love how Jesse said addicted to succeeding. Shit kind of got me fired up.
I know. Things, that's seriously, like, especially with work and everything lately, it's just, I just feel like I'm crushing it out of the park. And now I know when I started, even with this company a couple years ago, all I wanted to do was get a paycheck, and I wanted to do as little as I possibly could, but the feeling you get and what's the damn word? No, like, God damn it. God damn it. Like, say you're trying, God, now I gotta try to explain this. The feeling that you get when someone else is validating the work that you do or the value that you hold towards something.
Yeah, being validated.
It feels good, You wanna continue to try to elevate that and elevate yourself and see what else you can do and accomplish, Now I probably care too much about work, but it's a good thing,
Yeah, but that's what most people normally do.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
It takes us like 30 years to get to that point.
If I would have,
it takes us 30 years to get where everyone else is when they're
Yeah.
like 24.
And that's the shitty thing about addiction, like
Yeah.
that everyone gets a head start. And if I would have made these kind of choices when I was 20 years old, I wouldn't have had debt that I have.
Yeah, but yet again, you're still like I'm sure there's guys in your company who are much, much older than you who are like, this whippersnapper's out here just killing it,
I am one of the youngest people around.
Yeah. It was always weird when I worked in like management positions in other companies, like working over people who were older than you,
I know.
It's really awkward,
It is. But actually, I was worried about that too, especially with my current position, because most of the people, well, about more than half, or like 60% of my direct report employees have all been around for a long time, and they're all super smart and know everything about everything there is to know, and I'm like, shit, man, are these people gonna like respect me? Or I've kind of lacked confidence in that area at first, but
for sure,
the main thing about that is I value and respect their opinion. And unless it's some extreme circumstance where I don't see what they're seeing, I don't really combat, I make it like a team effort to make the decisions we make. Like, I go to them and get their opinion, and we all kind of come upon a conclusion that we all understand. So it's like I value what they have. You know what I'm saying?
Dude. It's
the key.
It's weird when like you're talking like having to tell someone who's like in their 50s like what's
because half the time like whatever's going on, like I'm more confident now, but at first like I was like I just kept thinking to myself like I don't believe that I have the answers to everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone does, but collectively we got a good group of people, You rely on the people around you, to do their job, and that's key.
So what drives you when you say addicted to succeeding? What really drives you to have that mentality?
I think now more than ever, through what's been going on in my life the last 2 years, I'm actually confident in the fact that I can achieve the things I want. Before it was always this thing in the back of your head where, because I went on for years and years, like Christian said, where I wanted all these things and I had all these grand ideas, but I could never accomplish anything because there was always something standing in the way or tying me down.
Fear.
And doing that for 10 years of your life will completely destroy the confidence you have in yourself, you know, and you're like, I'll never amount to anything. I've failed over and over. You know, my life's never going to change, you know, and once you kind of turn that around, it's like, I feel like it's incredible what you can do. And I do believe in the power of the mind, you know, where you can not sit there and think, oh, I want a Lamborghini and get a Lamborghini. But the more you want something, you know, the more driven you are to like take the proper steps in order to get there. So I feel like a lot of it's confidence, and I'm setting realistic goals, you know, that aren't like, oh, I want to have $1 million house by the end of this year. You know, I'm kind of setting stepping stones of achievable goals, and just kind of working my way through them. You know, and
I think what people need to realize is that type of stuff and that attitude and mentality and experience like takes years. You know, like here you are at 2 years of really being focused and, you know, driven, and you finally like kind of feel like you're not really like trying to tread water anymore. You're kind of like above, you know, where you want to be. So, and I think for me, like that whole thing of, you know, addicted to success and the whole mentality of being able to achieve what you want is, for me, it was like going all in, right? So a lot of people, you know, want to like half-mast certain things that they're doing, and that never is going to give you the results that you want to get. So for me, like I literally, you know, like with the business, for example, like I literally have every single thing in my life invested into it. And that's not just money, but time as well. Mm-hmm. So every single day, every single penny, every single thought in my life right now is about the business, you know, and it's hard to turn it off sometimes, but that's the way that I want it, because right now I'm starting to see the growth and the forward positive momentum, and that's a result of grinding for 6 months straight.
Hell yeah.
You know, 6 months of working every single day, not getting paid, and knowing that it's investing and building something for the future. You know, still now not where I want to be, but seeing the forward momentum is that push to keep the faith, to keep the confidence alive, to keep the self-doubt away and the negative thoughts away, that what if this fails? Because I went into it saying to myself, this will not fail because I have everything on the line.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no other option but to succeed. There's no other option but to work my ass off and to sweat in there every day and to make the fucking thing work. Because if it doesn't work, you know, I'm going bankrupt.
And that kind of shit, dude, it pays off, man. Because you do that for however long it takes. You know, I know things are going pretty well there, and you know, but over time, once you've put all that time and effort into everything, and it's kind of a self-run organization, dude, like, and you've built something for yourself, like, what else by working any other job or putting all that time and effort into can you achieve?
And the other thing I struggle with is that, like, not everyone has the same mentality that I do. So this is the one thing, and I want to get your guys' take on this too, you know, is that, like, there's just things that happen, and I'm just like, I don't understand how a person can be okay with performing like this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, how can you be okay with being average? Like, how can you be okay with just doing the bare minimum? Like, how can you be okay with not leaving a place better, like leaving the place in worse condition? And this could be a situation or a physical place, or leaving it worse than when you got there. Like, how are you, you know, okay with that? And a lot of times it's challenging for me to like be like, yo, like, hold on a second, you know, like, not everyone is fucking has their entire life on the line here, you know, and not everyone has everything invested into it. And like, I got to remember that. But I think I've done a good job at being patient and, you know, trying to teach people these traits, you know, that I have, that hopefully I could pass on to them and they could use that as value for their life.
Yeah.
You know,
I think the thing that comes to mind in that topic is, think about, like, as as addicts, or not even necessarily just addicts, but people who have, had a really fucking hard time in life, getting through it and struggled with whatever it is, addiction or, whatever kind of crazy shit happened in your fucking life, and you spent years and years fucking at rock bottom, living like shit, and then finally, your life gets to a point where you can turn it around and you're on the brink of success, like we live for that, and we strive in those situations because we've seen the fucking shittiest stuff you could fucking imagine, and to come out on the other side of that, we're driven people, we're fucking hungry for it. So maybe other people just have lived some average life, and that's just, people are content with that shit, or they don't fucking care enough to really want to go for it,
Yeah, and I think another important thing too to kind of consider as well is like how we just mentioned about the self-doubt. I think that like plays a huge role because, at least for myself, one thing that I've noticed tremendously, especially over the last maybe even like couple years, and I've been clean for over 6 years, but even like in the last couple years, it's the role that confidence plays is like, for me, at least what I've noticed, is literally everything in every single aspect in every single industry. You could see somebody who's either brand new and like you might think, oh, like for example, for you, Jesse, like you come in, you're brand new, and then all of a sudden you just skyrocket and you get promotion. And for some people it may be like what, like that doesn't make any sense, but for the owners, they see the confidence, they see someone who is confident enough to like ask for the job position. You know what I'm saying? And that might be something to consider as far as people who Drew, like how you're mentioning, like people who you see and you're like, I don't really know how they could like leave a place that's not really better than when they got there. But it could be something as simple as like maybe they just don't believe that they could be better, or they don't believe that they like have what it takes. And I think in some cases it really could just take, and I think you're doing a good job at that with like the the younger people that you have at your job, but it could just take something as simple as like involving them, talking with them on a daily basis, giving them like encouragement and the little shit like that could be what makes this person on his, either where he's at now, want to excel and like do better, or even when he leaves, he'll be better when he leaves, or she'll be better when she leaves, but I think that's like I said, for myself, that's been like a huge part in what I do, because what I do on a daily basis for the most part is troubleshoot. So when I go to a place and something is wrong, I have to like, even if I don't know what's happening, I have to reassure the customer that no matter what, I'm going to figure it out. If I have to call 20 people, if I have to, whatever, but I have to be confident enough and I have to make the customer, because if I go there and I'm like, oh, what is that? Like, what?
I got no fucking idea.
Yeah. Then whatever I say or recommend is now uncredible. It's like, but if I go there, I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing, sir, ma'am? Like, yeah, that's okay. So I'll go ahead and check it out. I mean, that could be this, that could be that, but I'll look at it. I'll give you an update before I do anything, and then you can decide what you want to do, and then.
Yeah, you don't ever want to tell anyone that you don't know.
Right.
It's the worst answer to give. And I was just thinking back, like, yeah, you make a good point. Like, I have an opportunity to help other people grow, right? So I'm thinking back at other jobs that I had, and I don't know if I just wasn't receptive to it at the time or if it never existed, but nobody ever gave me experience and knowledge above what was required at the job.
Yeah.
They never they never were like, dude, listen, if you take this, what I'm teaching you here, and apply it into your life, like, you're going to get further than anyone else who is at a parallel with you. People in my previous jobs kind of just like, yeah, this is what you have to fucking do, and you have to do it because we're paying you to do it, and that's just it.
And not only that, dude, you have a huge opportunity to build confidence in your employees, because someone taught me in the last couple of years too, like, sometimes, especially when you're the boss, there's a lot of like responsibilities that you feel like, I have to do this because I want to make sure it's done correctly.
Yeah.
And when you do that and you don't entrust the people who work for you with tasks like that, they feel like, exactly what you feel like. Like he thinks he's the only one who can do that. But when you trust in your employees and delegate responsibility to them, it gives them a sense of value, and confidence, saying like, he trusts me to do this, he trusts me to do that. And that's actually a really huge thing, because if you go on long enough doing everything yourself and making everyone feel like you're the only one who can do certain things, then when you finally want them to do something too, or need them, they're going to think, well, fuck this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Actually, it's huge.
And I'm kind of like eating my own words here, because the funny thing is that just from, talking to people, in the space, there's actually one of the young guys started listening to the podcast, and yeah, and
shout out,
and he's 18, so if he could listen and absorb from what we're doing here, we'll have him come out on the show one week.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, so I mean, just saying that out loud is like, I'm it's making a difference. So
yeah, because I think we talked about this before, but like the information that you're giving him, just exactly how you just said that. No one really did that for you, and even in my experience, it's been very similar. Like no one's really, because nobody, like, especially in my experience, it's like whoever's above me. It's not that they don't really want to see me win or like excel above them, but they're not really thinking about me leaving that place. Like to them, this is their world. Yeah, they've been there for 30 years. You exist in
their world. It's
right.
Just, do you do what they say?
Right. So and I think you're, like I said, I think you're doing a great job with, you kind of bringing people under you and like talking to them and including them in what you're doing, and that's huge.
Yeah, man, it's cool because we have a little Slack chat, which is like a group thing. It's like not like iMessage, but it's like another program, like a messaging app, and somebody had said in there yesterday, like best boss ever,
Yeah.
And like that was just after like saying, I just was writing a little paragraph and just explaining to them about how I feel about something, and letting them know that if they ever feel like they're working too much, or if they have too much on their plate that they can't too much that they can't handle, or anything, to like talk to me or like message me on the side or call me on the side. It's like open communication,
Just fuck the audio for a second.
Why?
I don't know. It just crackled.
Oh, maybe interference or something. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Fire, boys.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense, man. I think it's going to make a lot of difference when you create an environment like that. When you create an environment where it's not really, I've heard it with like people like Tom, Billy who does the impact theory, and he says it a lot, and Gary Vee and people like that. But creating an environment to where you're empowering your people, and even if that means that they want to go
so much more than just a fucking juice and smoothie bar.
Right.
And that's like how I wanted it to be, I wanted it to be, I wanted to create a certain atmosphere, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a learning experience as we're going along, but I wish for everyone to be a part of something like that.
Yeah.
Whether it's in their job or outside of the job, a group of friends or whatever it is, I just want to, it's so important just to be surrounded by people who are not at a higher level than you, I guess, so to say, but just, people with more experience, because that's how we learn and grow together. We thrive off of one another.
100%. And the cool thing is that now it's like, even if you don't have friends that are like what you're saying, there's podcasts that you can listen to where there's literally like experts who they have on the podcast, and you can, learn from people, and you can, it's almost like, at least for myself, like these podcasts that I listen to, it's almost like I'm able to be, there and like be like a fly on the wall and listen to a casual conversation about, in most cases, positive shit. And it's just another input that you're kind of giving yourself. That's essentially, I don't want to say the exact same as having like a person-to-person conversation, but if you don't have access to that, it's the next best thing.
It's fucking all out there, dude. It's 2019, motherfuckers.
2K19.
Think about, dude, that what you're talking about, the atmosphere you're going for at work. That is fucking huge, dude. It really is. The atmosphere you have created and continue to fucking grow on is amazing, dude. Think about. I know everybody in the world has probably had one job, if not all your jobs, your entire life, where you walk in and it's a hostile fucking environment. That makes you hate life, like, because you're forced to go to work, obviously, unless you want to quit and go find another job. But a lot of people stay in those situations and they fucking hate what they do. They hate their boss. They hate this and that. Like, if you can work in it, like, obviously it'd be great to work in some sort of field where you love what you do, but not even just that. You work in an office job, but you have the coolest fucking boss, and you have a fucking good atmosphere, and you're around, like you said, people who can elevate your knowledge or your skill or your financial growth in life. Like, what's more valuable than that? It's a fucking beautiful thing. I literally just S'd my own D. And Drew's D.
Yeah, so thank you guys, man, again. You know,
thank you,
we'll wrap it up with that. And big, huge shout out to D Squared Media, our sponsors. Danny was on the episode last week. He gave a more detailed, description as to what they do. But essentially, it's for any small business or big business or whatever kind of business you have for, media, marketing, website design, graphic work, business cards, literally everything. And, we have a discount code. If you use EDH, you call in, you say you heard about them through the show, you have 10% off. And I think Danny said for life. Yeah, that was the first time.
Life, dude.
That was the first time I heard that. So I was like, oh shit.
It'd save you a ton of money. But seriously, guys, that was a fire ass episode. You and sparked more sexual thoughts in my mind and more motivation and drive to be addicted to success.
Drop that Nimbus cloud. Don't die.
Don't die. Motherfuckers.
Wow. I came to bring this to you and your crew to see what you guys were gonna do. Ow! Ow!